Pumpkin Man, I think we should start a video log. Joe's adventure. Today hasn't gone so well. I went to Catawba Pediatrics for the fourth time to get Ellie's school paperwork. And, of course, the documents they told me were ready weren't ready. They had to run around and ask a bunch of questions. As it turns out, it wasn't applicable, but they needed to ask a bunch of questions about it anyway. This morning, we saw an accident, Pumpkin Man, but I'm not sure at what time the accident occurred. The school wanted to know some sort of information, and the survey started really early this morning. The fire department was very talkative. They chatted about how people don't really listen to the fire department, and they only listen to look, this person's a girl and they pooped today, but they look very masculine. I don't know, Pumpkin Man. Pumpkin Man, I think we should switch to wide format video. Shorts are fun, but getting people to watch for long durations is much more exciting. And I'm sure the content's worth more on YouTube. I'm just curious, how many of y'all end up behind license plates that say, "In God We Trust"? I seem to end up behind them quite often. If not "In God We Trust," we get first and free. I used to just see North Carolina license plates. Isn't that amazing, Pumpkin Man? Pumpkin Man, guess what? Seems like everywhere I go, strangers want to know what kind of work I do. And they want to tell me about the videos that they've watched or the content they've been able to research online. It's amazing how these little things can just re-pop into my life. They can talk about the rain, they can talk about the weather, and they love to talk about how smallmouth in creeks seem to love catching stuff with flywater. It's really amazing. I'm also disappointed today, Pumpkin Man, because my car that I took to Shelby Dodge and supposedly got a new engine and transmission in, yeah, it really hasn't been working out for me lately. The Shelby transmission shop said maybe I have an electrical issue, but, you know, for a car that's just been rebuilt and just been done over, it seems to be giving me a lot of trouble now that I'm using it. I don't know what I should think of Shelby, Chrysler, Dodge. They were awful anxious to tell me about their service and quality and do stuff for me. Pumpkin Man, there's another thing I've noticed. The whole world's turned handicapped. I mean, at least like a third of them have become handicapped in the last, since COVID. I'm starting to wonder why I'm not handicapped. Yeah. That's about it for now, Pumpkin Man. Pumpkin Man, I thought that was it for now, but did I tell you that in Mountain View, Tesla has installed this convenient fast charging system? I mean, I think it's part of their charging network. If you turn in here to the Lowe's Foods and make a right behind this fire hydrant, there's a Tesla charging station. And look, today there's a Model Y. And this guy just goes to show that you can take care of the rest of your business while you like how you're doing it. Like, it's like an ATM. You know, it's like, it's not a wasted trip. And look, somebody's advertising for it. It's amazing. It's like it's a Coca-Cola something today. I should go over and tell the Coca-Cola driver that for some reason Diet Coke tastes funny these days. Maybe it's just me, but I think that's just the way it is. Diet Coke tastes funny. Oh look, and the Army's out today. Alright, well, Pumpkin Man, this concludes our trip to the Tesla charging station in Mountain View. I hope you enjoyed it. Pumpkin Man, it's a FedEx commercial. It drives all around town advertising FedEx for the low price of being an independent FedEx operator. If you were an independent FedEx operator, you could advertise for FedEx too. Pumpkin Man, do you think Copilot can talk to you today? It seems that I reached my limit earlier today, but I'm kind of thinking maybe I'll try and start another conversation with Copilot. But I guess if Copilot doesn't work out, maybe I'll try Gemini, one of the other language models. Do you think talking to Gemini and Copilot constitute experience with a chatbot? I looked at this job application the other day that was talking about how much experience do you have using AI chatbots. I'm not sure if large language models fall into that same category as chatbots. Mostly because I've never used chatbots. Oh wait, maybe an LLM does constitute working with a chatbot, in which case maybe I have lots of experience. And if I talk about all those chatbots that I talk to on the telephone when they call me, it's like I got experience daily for the past I don't know how many years. But I know a lot of them are horrible. I wonder if you should put something like that in your job. Hey Pumpkin Man, at what point does being a buyer and being a buyer professionally, at what point do you differentiate between those? I mean, I think retail buyers are pretty good, but I'm not sure that really constitutes being a professional buyer. I might need to put a lot more experience on my purchasing record when it comes to purchasing, since I've had a checking card since I was 12, and I think I've used it quite a bit. I might need to extend my work history, particularly in procurement, like procuring of candy bars and steaks and matches, and trying to think of all the things that I might have. I was a professional toy buyer for a long time, and I was really big in pyrotechnics and explosives. I think the majority of my allowance went to fishing tackle and pyrotechnic devices between the age of from 1992 to 1998. Yeah. Oh, and I was a professional food buyer too. Yeah, I paid myself to consume food that I bought, and I continued working to do that more. So I'm sure that constitutes being a professional buyer. I gave myself more money to buy more things. So yeah, in itself, I worked for me. Right, Pumpkin Man? Pumpkin Man, did I tell you we're experiencing adverse weather conditions today? Yes. According to my world of disinformation, we are supposed to be experiencing tropical-like weather. A wise man once told me, Pumpkin Man, that if you look around and everything's green and nobody has sprinklers, it probably rains a lot. And that same wise man told me, if you look around and everything's green and there's a lot of water flowing through the country and the roads are wet, it probably rains a lot. Pumpkin Man, I'm starting to think this area might get a lot of rain, because I rarely see sprinklers. And the wise man's tale of when everything is green and there's water all over the ground, it probably rains a lot. What do you think about that, Pumpkin Man? Yeah, you're so easy to talk to. I mean, you always got a smiling face. And some days you're more jolly than others. I'm just not exactly sure how to interpret that. Look, the diner's open from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. I'm just not sure where the diner is. Pumpkin Man, we're still under a tropical storm warning. You don't seem to be bothered. You're like a ray of sunshine. You know, it's almost season for Pumpkin Man. We're certainly coming up on the almost time for Halloween. We could have a happy Halloween thing, which could bring me to why you should visit the pumpkin patch. Yeah. And pick out a pumpkin. Right, Pumpkin Man? Pumpkin Man, the saga of the tow truck. So, today we're requested to hire a tow truck, but our one tow truck driver is in Charlotte at the present time, and his other guys were out doing something else. It's about 12:30ish, and we got to pick up the girls from school, because supposedly our tropical Helena cyclone is going to get bad later, and I don't know all the answers. I just don't know all the answers. So, Pumpkin Man, tune in later. We'll check back. Pumpkin Man, I just saw the Duke Energy trucks driving around. It could get serious later. I mean, we should check the weather probably. What do you think? Stay tuned for advisories. Pumpkin Man, look, it's getting serious. The power trucks are out they're not even on the right side of the road, but the utility trucks are out and utilitying. And, you know, like I say, we're supposed to have a big, giant tropical thunderstorm-ish. So we'll just have to stay tuned. It looks like at Katie's school, no, it's at the church nearby, the fire trucks are already stationed there alongside the road. Look at that. They're just waiting. They're just waiting, and they're getting in their trucks, and they're doing truck things. So that's what the trucks are doing. And, yep, it's just that way, Pumpkin Man. No barriers, that's good stuff. Man, would you look at this? This person is unaware of the 1:30 rule. They are here, and, you know, first thing first, they're just right there. Pumpkin Man, I can't believe it. Today has been a whoa, what a day kind of day, yeah. Well, Pumpkin Man, they have decided to move. They ventured off, and now we are first in queue. It didn't take very long, but we'll just sit here and have it out. We'll have a go of it. Pumpkin Man, here is the long-awaited update. It's still raining. I haven't seen any major tropical winds. Winds seem awfully light and variable. Light and variable. The window's a little foggy. And, yeah. That's where we're at. It's about 2 o'clock, Pumpkin Man. Alright, now back to the Bahamas trip. Pumpkin Man, the saga has continued.
Yeah.
We have Katie.
Raining, Pumpkin Man.
It's still raining. And we got Ellie.
It's still raining, Pumpkin Man. And I need to get this rain out of here.
And I'm sure there's going to be some sort of natural disaster that has to occur on the way home.
Yeah.
Because look at all this rain, Pumpkin Man. I mean, we saw the fire trucks earlier. We saw the telephone companies. We saw all those people. So there has to be some sort of fiasco brewing in our near future. I'm sure we can't get disappointed. Pumpkin Man, our travel has gotten this way. We have a truck over here, Pumpkin Man, and we have windshield wipers, and the truck is moving at a relatively high rate of speed. And yes, Pumpkin Man, visibility out here is, it's really not that bad. So far, the winds haven't picked up too much, and aside from the utility crews being out and the fire department and the police department being out and local, I haven't seen much issues. So, yeah, here we go. Man, do you see the sign? It says the road may flood. In the middle of a tropical storm, there was some mild flooding on the road. Should we be concerned? Should we proceed? Look, more flooding. Ooh.
Yay!
More flooding. Ooh. So here we are, Pumpkin Man. We made it to this place. I know you didn't get to come in with us. You're holding it down on the fort. But, you know, they have some sort of little sailor guy over there on the wall. And Ellie's got some bread to look at. And Katie got a salad, along with a glass of brown stuff. And I got a glass of yellow stuff. And here we have a basket of golden fresh baked bread. And over there, there is a wonderful case of cakes. Yeah. So, what did we call this thing again?
Angelina buttercream.
Angelina
Chicken.
buttercream. And pizza. And
No
she got
sauce?
chicken Alfredo with, yeah, pizza with no sauce. We love pizza with no sauce.